Support and resistance is one of the most well-known concepts in trading. Most people know about it. The concept is very, very simple, but there are good ways to trade it and there are bad ways to trade it. The basic concept with support and resistance is that if the price is testing a resistance level, there's a high probability that the price will go down from there. But on the other hand, if the price is able to break above the resistance line, then there's a high probability that the price will shoot up from there. Same thing with support. If the price comes down and tests a support range, there's a high probability that the price will shoot up from there. On the other hand, if the price breaks down below the support, there's a high probability that the price will drop even further. So the core concept is very, very simple, but a lot of traders are getting wrecked trading support and resistance because they do it completely wrong. In this video, I will show my way of trading support and resistance, how to draw it properly, how to trade it properly, and I will share some secrets no one is talking about. But before we get started, read this disclaimer because trading is always risky. Alright, let's get started. So first of all, let's remove all of these drawings and start from scratch. So we are now looking at the price of Bitcoin on the daily time frame. This concept works the same way on stocks and Forex and crypto. Doesn't matter which chart you are using, the concept is the same on all assets. But in this example, I will use Bitcoin on the daily time frame as an example. So the first thing that I do is that I draw with the simple line tool in TradingView the most obvious support lines. So in my opinion, we have some kind of support right here. And I just draw it like this. And the next line would be from here, and I would draw it just like this. And the next one I will draw from here and all the way here. And the next one I will draw it from this bottom right here and all the way here. And as you can see, I put the support lines on the most obvious spots, and you should be able to see these spots right away. If you spend more time than 2 seconds drawing these spots, there is no clear support, so just forget about it. Never force patterns, never force support and resistance tests. It should be very obvious, otherwise it doesn't exist. So now we have the most obvious support lines in the chart, and I will also draw the most obvious resistance line as well. So there we have it. And when it comes to support and resistance, it's always a range, not a specific price. So this line here, this is the most obvious line, but it's still a range. Doesn't mean that the price will bounce exactly from this price. So what I will do, I will add a green box here to make it more clear that this is a range. If the price is in this range, then I will pay very close attention to the price and I will avoid shorting from here. So let's draw some boxes for the other support lines as well. So we have a range right here and one range over here and one range over here. Then we have a resistance range over here and we have a top here as well. So we can extend this box all the way to here. Okay, so the price is now heading downwards from this top. So let's see what happens next. The next candle was a very big red candle and it punched through the first support line and touched the second one. And this is why it's so important to wait for the candle to close. And it doesn't matter which time frame you are trading, the most important thing is to know your main time frame. If your main time frame is the daily time frame, you wait for the daily candle to close before you take a trade. If your main time frame is the 4-hour time frame, you wait for the 4-hour candle to close before you take a trade. And if your main time frame is the 5-minute time frame, you wait for the 5-minute candle to close. Because if I would enter this trade right after the price touched the support area, I would get completely wrecked. So when it comes to trading support and resistance, we always need to wait for confirmation, and that's why we have to wait for the candle to close. So in this case, we have no confirmation, and this support is not the strongest one because we are at the top of a very strong uptrend, and the first time we are dropping from a very strong uptrend, there's a high probability that we will break through the first support line even on the first try. So obviously this support line is much stronger than this one, and this one is stronger than this one. This one is stronger than this one, because the further down the price drops, the higher probability that the price will have a reaction from the support range. So since we don't have a confirmation here, we do not enter a trade. We keep waiting, and this is another red candle right in the middle of the support range, which means we do not enter this trade. We have now finally a green candle, but it's still inside of the support range and it does not look very strong because it is still inside of the support range, but this green candle looks kind of weak to me, so this is not a confirmation candle. So we keep waiting. We now broke down below the support range, and this is definitely not a good time to enter a long position. So now we can actually remove this support range from the chart because it's no longer relevant. And usually when we break through support lines, the support can now act as a resistance